Hoi hoi! Another easy 19-kilometer day on the GSB, but it's going to be the last one before the mountains get higher again. The most difficult thing today was deciding on where I was going to stay tonight. The guidebook does list a campsite, but according to Google it's been closed permanently, and there is a cafe during the tourist season which will probably be closed now, so I'm not sure you can stay there or if it's a private property. I thought about wild camping, but that's not really an option because of the stretch of forest near Duszatyn has the highest concentration of Polish bears, and only a little over a month ago a 58-year-old woman who was collecting deer antlers in the forest was killed by a bear attack, and that was only 17 kilometers from Duszatyn. Now, of course, bear attacks are really rare. The previous deadly attack was in 2014, so it's not a common occurrence for sure, but it certainly rules out wild camping. So I've been thinking about arranging a taxi in Komańcza to pick me up in Duszatyn and take me back the next morning. I could also stay in Komańcza itself and stop there, but that would make it only a 13-kilometer day and would mess up my kilometers for the next day. That would be too long. So I'm really committed to going to Duszatyn one way or the other, and I'm sure it will be fine. Let's hike. I just met a Polish hiker who was hiking in the opposite direction, which is kind of reassuring. And he was carrying one of those little bear bills on his trekking poles. I don't have one of those. I think the constant noise would be driving me crazy. I'm also not going around yelling "Hey bear!" Because that seems a bit ridiculous. But I will admit to occasionally banging my trekking poles together, letting everyone know that I'm here, so I don't startle a bear. According to Google, bears are quite shy and they don't venture out on the trails. They will turn away. So the odds of actually meeting one is very, very small. But just in case, for now I think I will be banging my trekking poles together on occasion. There really are loads of people on trail today. I must have passed by 10 hikers already. I think most of them are going from Komańcza to Rimino, which is about 39 kilometers. And I mean, good for them, but that's not for me. That's way too long, and I probably could do it, but I want to enjoy myself. It's also quite warm, there isn't any wind, even though it's clouded. It's still a bit oppressive, so I'm again sweating profusely. But again, it's a short day, so I'm taking it slow, relaxing and enjoying the view, which is amazing, as usual. It's a bit early for a snack break perhaps, but it is such a beautiful spot and I love listening to the song of skylarks. Song-wise, they're among my favorite birds. just outside of Komańcza there's a schronisko, a hut, but it's being worked on, so it's closed for now. I'm in Komańcza, and it turns out that June 4th is a religious holiday, Corpus Christi, as well as an official holiday, because on this day in 1989 the opposition party of Lech Walesa won the elections and heralded the end of communism in Poland. So the supermarket is closed, the tourist information office is closed, and basically every official business is closed. So I'm hiking on to Duszatyn, and I'll see what I do when I get there. Maybe I can hitchhike back to Komańcza, or I can find a spot to wild camp after all. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do. We'll see. For the next few kilometers I will be following the road to Duszatyn. Maybe 2 or 3 kilometers, I'm not exactly sure. It also appears there's an ultramarathon going on. I saw several runners going by, and I do respect these guys. I would never be able to do it, especially with these temperatures. It's not the same one I saw at Babi Agora, because I didn't see the yellow ribbons they used there, so it has to be a different one. But man, you can do a wicked ultramarathon here in Poland. I made it to Duszatyn, and there is indeed no campsite. However, the little restaurant was open and it was quite busy. I think there was an excursion going on. There are some railway here, so I'm not sure what that's about. But I had some dumplings for lunch, and now I've decided to hike on to the next hut, Schronisko, which is about 24 more kilometers. It's only 12:30, so it's quite early still, and I don't really feel like twiddling my thumbs all afternoon when I could be hiking. It's going to be a long and hard day, but I think I like it. If I recall the elevation chart correctly, the first climb was supposed to be the hardest, and then the trail stays at elevation between 1000 and 1200 meters, I think. So still plenty ups and downs, but nothing too crazy. So hopefully now I'll be able to make some progress. According to the signpost, it's less than 6 hours to Cisna. So it will still be around 8 o'clock, 8:30 before I get there. Maybe, but we'll see if I can shave something of that time. I must say I was sorely tempted to go to the campsite, which is only 30 minutes off trail at 77.5 kilometers, but it's only 50 more kilometers to Cisna, and it's 3 o'clock, so that is absolutely doable. I know I can do it, so I was tempted, but I'm going to push through. This morning there was a couple outside the cabin where I stayed, and they stayed in their car, and I had no clue as to why they were there. But just now I had a little break at a picnic hut, and it turns out they are volunteers for the ultra marathon, because I saw them here again with a boatload of water. So I drank some and they filled up my water bottle, so now I have plenty for the remaining 14 kilometers. But such a coincidence that all the distance apart you see the same people. I would not have expected that. Despite the altitude, I haven't had a few so far, so this is a bit of variety from the forest. Levelish with the occasional crazy steep climb. Still, 992 doesn't sound very high, but that was a crazy steep climb. Well, that was definitely not 50 minutes. My watch said 30. From Duszatyn onwards, I have my watch face covered with the shirt sleeve, because mentally it's counterproductive to know how slowly the kilometers tick by. But I just took a peek and I'm 39 kilometers in, so 5 more to go, or 4 if the hut has availability. The kitchen will be open still. They usually close at 8 and it's only 6, so I'll be sure to stop there for a snack and a drink. I still have half a liter of mint flavored apple juice and a bit of water, and as soon as the water runs out I'll switch to the apple juice, but I'm afraid that I will down half the bottle in one go, so I'm being a bit careful. But for now I still feel strong. My feet are sore, but physically and mentally I feel strong. I could keep going for hours. Not that I'm going to, but for now I'm just happy. Strange thing, because when the silk hut I was completely knackered, and now no, I could go on if I had to, but that goes to show that hiking is a physical game but also a mental one, and the mind can do amazing things sometimes. I just talked to some ladies who were waiting for the runners to arrive or pass by, and they told me they are running the whole GSB in 8 days. So what I did, I'm going to do in about 19 days, I think. They're doing in 8 days total, and that's absolutely amazing. They also told me there's a running festival in Cisna in addition to the GSB in 8 days, so everything will probably be fully booked, but maybe there's availability in the hut still, I hope, and if not, maybe I can put up my tent next to the hut. And if that fails, then there's a campsite in town. Well, looks like tent shouldn't be an issue, but I prefer a bed. So I made it to the hut, and they did have a bed for me in the attic of an annex. So basically 2 steep stairs, but it was a bed, and that I'm very happy with. It's clear that I didn't drink enough today because when I arrived I drank 0.6 liter of orange juice, and I think I bought 3 more bottles of orange juice before dinner. So I really should drink more. My feet hurt, my calf has seized up a bit, so I need to stretch. But all in all, it was an absolute great day. See you tomorrow. So I made it to the hut, and they did have a bed for me in the attic of an annex. So basically 2 steep stairs, but it was a bed, and that I'm very happy with. It's clear that I didn't drink enough today because when I arrived I drank 0.6 liter of orange juice, and I think I bought 3 more bottles of orange juice before dinner. So I really should drink more. My feet hurt, my calf has seized up a bit, so I need to stretch. But all in all, it was an absolute great day. See you tomorrow.